Hey everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Okay, there are some heavy energies around at the moment. I haven't watched David Johnson yet. I believe he had a fabulous channeling. David Johnson Moonride. If you go Dave Johnson Moonride YouTube, you should be able to find his channel. Yeah, I heard that he's talking about the H-bomb, as well as things about EPS, etc. That is confirming what my guides have been saying for a while now. I don't know that Dave watches me, so a lot of us don't watch each other. Just putting that out there, or we don't actually watch each other if we do like each other, like we're friends and we want to support each other. We don't until after we've done our own readings for the day or the week or whatever. So, and 99.99% of the time we can't remember. Like last night, I think it was, about 12:30 at night, I put my earphones in, I had my tablet on the bedside table closed so the light didn't keep my husband awake, and listened to Laurie with Linda G. I wouldn't have a clue what they said because it was my dozy off pre-sleepy time. So I'm just putting it out there. No, we don't compare notes behind the scenes. So I will pop over and have a look at Dave afterwards. Anyhow, off my little ranty there. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading, and entertainment only for the bots and the sensors out there, and I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot. If you like the deck, rewind and pause it to have a look. I want to have a look at the Epstein offshore bank account. Now, this has popped into my awareness. I don't know why. I just had a feeling I needed to read on this. So apparently Epstein had an offshore bank. He owned the bank. I think he was the only client, but he also owned the bank in the Virgin Islands. Now, apparently he had a bank account there, and it was set up in 2014. So that would be the year before the orange twerp came down the escalator. It was set up in 2014 in the Virgin Isles. And it had, I think, there was no real sign it was being used. It had about $500,000 in it that just sort of sat there, and a few dollars went in and a few dollars came out, blah, 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 blah. And it just sat there and nothing happened for the next 5 years. Now, apparently, in 2019, suddenly there was just under $16 million deposited into that bank account. Poof, in it went. I believe the bank sent back about $2 million because there was something not right about it. Goodness me, who knows what. Sent back. But the remainder, the almost $13 million, was almost immediately withdrawn, basically within weeks. That bank account was cleaned out. Now, apparently, so he passed away in August 2019. In December of 2019, whoop, big deposit. And basically, almost within weeks, it was cleaned out completely. Now, Judge Carolyn Herman Purcell, I haven't looked to see what she's been up to lately, but in 2020, there was a court case in regards to this bank account where there's some investigations that were made. The lawyers were claiming that the money was transferred into the bank account in error. Yeah, right. I accidentally slipped and pressed the send button on my $15 million. Not. It was made an error, but there was no indication of where the money went when it was withdrawn. The lawyers brought forward a whole bunch of what appears to be fake invoices. There was a compensation claim against his estate that was $600 million. So that 600,000, whatever it is. Anyhow, Oh, his entire estate. Yes, let me get that right. Apparently, his entire estate was $600 million. There have been some victim compensation claims gone out of it, but apparently the entire estate is now less than 100 million. So sorry, let me get my facts right. So nearly 16 million was put into this bank account. 2 million was immediately sent back by the bank. No idea why. That's a bit strange considering it's Epstein's bank. And the remaining 13 million, this is the Virgin Islands bank account, disappeared fairly quickly. Now, I believe the Virgin Islands won a court case against Epstein for environmental destruction and, you know, all sorts of things. But, oh, I think that was 100 million. But his estate in totality was about 600 million. And it's now down to less than $100 million. The lawyers are claiming that was due to upkeep, the invoices, paying off the Virgin Islands, etc., paying off victim compensation, etc., etc., so forth and carry on. But $500 million? Like, okay, 100 went to the Virgin Islands. What happened to the other $400 million? Who goes, what accounting firm goes through $400 million in doing the tax returns or whatever it is on an estate? Yeah, okay, right. They had to sell stuff, and so, you know, they would have charged for having to sell stuff like the luxury cars and the properties, etc. But I want to have a look. I want to have a look at this Epstein offshore bank account. Seems about dubious to me. The math don't math. So what do we need to know about this offshore bank account? Set up in the Virgin Islands. Apparently it's still open. What do we need to know? Ten of Pentacles. The money, well, it's the inheritance. So it could have been his estate got put in there, but it's also my oligarchical money flow, end of a cycle money flow, because I mean he was apparently allegedly under the grass by that stage. And isn't it surprising how quickly these figures find themselves cremated, so they can't be dug up and had a look at again? Epstein, Ivana, anybody else dubious, you know, who's undergone this, they can't be dug up. There can't be DNA testing done. There can't be drug analysis or anything like that. Bones looked at, nothing. He was cremated as well. So this may have been the inheritance of the estate, but it's also the passing through of money from the oligarchs, his legacy. The challenge is volatile information being brought forward. I wonder if there were some messages that went out there that said, right, okay, he's allegedly fallen off the twig. You need to pay out, or the information gets put out there. But the challenge is the volatile information coming forward. This may be the here and now, because this is usually my here and now, the past and going forward. So his financial legacy, the oligarchical money, is being challenged by new information being brought forward that is volatile. At the foundation, we've got the Star card, the energy stewing in, the Star. He was the Star. It was his bank and it was his bank account. I suspect he may, I don't know, was he the only client? Was he the only client of that bank? I'm going to have to ask. Where's my yes/no cards? There they are. Because I'll just put those aside so I don't mess them up. Was he the only client, customer, whatever, of that bank. I know that's a no sitting on the bottom, but I'm going to give them a good shuffle. Was he, and if you're wondering about these cards, they were just blank cards. I wrote yes on 12, no on 12, and left 2 of them blank. Was Jeffrey Epstein the only client of his Virgin Islands bank? No, he wasn't. Ooh. No, he wasn't. Right, well, that opens another can of worms. Who else was a... And then on the bottom, no again, to confirm it. No, he wasn't. So who else was a client of this bank? Okay, I'm rabbit holing. I'm sorry. For those researchers out there who might have access to information that I don't, feel free to see if you can glean it. I'm getting no, he wasn't, but he was the star. So the here and now energy that it's all stewing in was it was his bank. He was, look at the two water jugs being poured out. This is about transfers, but trickling back into the lake. So money going out, money coming back in again. But he was the star. In the past, the Chariot. Why have I got the Chariot here? This is about I'm asking about the bank account. The inability to move things forward. The warmonger. Let's see where this goes. In the past, the crowning. The Page of Swords. A whistleblower coming out with the truth about this bank account. Right. We've got here the immediate future, the inability to harvest. I think I'm just going to go and say it because this is what my guides are giving me. If you hear my guides, let me know. I keep forgetting to tell them to be vocal on this new computer. They are occasionally. The inability to get the money back out again. There's something here where there is this figure that is disappointed in the inability to get their money back out after this initial harvesting that happened. The wheel is turning. We're about to head off onto a new tangent. Externally, the wheel is turning. Internally, you've got the higher authorities bringing down some sort of order. The last thing I can find about this bank account is in 2025 years ago, but I just think something's going to emerge about it. Here we've got those living a life of luxury, but entrapped by this luxury, the hopes and fears. It's almost like he got the 13 million was transferred, but it might be running out, and a certain somebody can't get access to more. I mean, when you're used to living the lifestyle and you've got to pay out a lot for facial reconstruction and protection and cameras and you name it, and your taste buds, like the old wild caught Russian caviar on the whatever else, the money doesn't last real long. So the hopes and fears, the life of luxury, but trapped. The outcome, the hanged man, things being stopped, information about money coming out, information coming out. Being forced to walk away as secrets are revealed. Here we've got the money laundering, the attempting to juggle, the inability to move the money under this glare of exposure. I am really getting that. See, I don't get Epps is deceased. And there's a lot that is not adding up. And I'm just going to put a few bits out there. Missing video footage that has been confirmed by people that know how to do this video footage manipulation. There was no photographs of the body in the cell, the supposed deceased body in the cell. So there was no scene photographs. There was an excessive amount of linen there that is not corroborating. The photographs of the linen are not corroborating to the testimony of the guards who said that they cut him down. Well, there's no cut mark on the supposed necktie, let me put it that way. It's actually turned over, seamed and sewn, so there's no, it was not cut down. The medical coroner who did the autopsy has said that he believes it wasn't self-done because the amount of vertebrae that was broken, which indicates that it was not self-done. His brother's saying that he saw photographs, apparently. He didn't actually go in and one-on-one view the body. He saw photographs of the body and confirmed it was his brother. Very quick cremation, which means nothing can be followed up and corroborated. And all this other stuff that's happening. So I haven't been able to pick them up being passed. I keep getting Madagascar. Madagascar does not have an extradition treaty with the United States. Ghislaine is desperate to get out of prison. I suspect she probably knows. Cash Peters hasn't been able to get crossover photographs. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, their spirit's trapped. I don't think it's the spirit that's trapped. And I'm feeling that the money might be running out. So let's have a look at that. Let me have a look. We've got here on the bottom the manipulation. Look over here while that happens over there about the money. And a harsh truth coming out that is going to reveal disappointment. And it may be something that comes out during Maxwell's interrogation in front of the Congress committee, because we've got this trapped by the messaging that comes out, and we've got the hidden agenda, we've got information being brought forward that nobody has been looking at. It's almost like an emotional outburst. We've got the entrapment by the truth. We've got the dark money behind the scenes. We've got the shining a light on the path that needs to be taken forward in an investigation. And we've got the Ten of Swords. Some sort of contract and agreement, emotional contract and agreement in regards to financial corruption, throwing under the bus, the revealing what has not yet been revealed by this female figure. Something that she hasn't told yet. Smoke and mirrors, illusion, delusion, confusion, something that'll come out during a confusion that will be explosive. Absolutely shatteringly explosive about the wealthy or a wealthy. Could even be about the orange twerp. She throws him under the bus and inadvertently something else happens, but then you've got the emotional overwhelming, and you've got my Dick Durbin card. It's also Alex Whiting as well, in case you were wondering. going on the back foot, absolute nightmare situation, and the swords of truth. I think I'm just going to go there. I think she knows. I think the money is running out for Epps. Told you I'm going down this rabbit hole. Is that right? Is Epstein 15 million ain't what 13 million ain't what 13 million used to be? There's some sort of agreement here. An agreement. And the Five of Pentacles was showing itself again. Okay, a lover's agreement. 15 million, 13 million ain't what it used to be 10 years ago. Not even that. Especially if you're living this sort of life. So show me. Oh, I just got the money's running out because the orange twerp is keeping it for himself, is what my guides just told me. If you heard them, let me know. I heard a humming sound. I don't know what it is. It's just me and the fur baby's home. I heard a humming sound so if you heard the guides, let me know. The money was supposed to keep going, but it hasn't. Entrapment messaging, hidden agendas. Again, there's something secret that's going to come out. Oh, this is weird. Is what I'm getting right? Is what I'm getting okay? It almost, you know how they said there was the orange twerps come out and said there was a falling out over Virginia Giuffre. She's no longer around to verify or deny it. Trust me, it wasn't about a person. It was about a property deal that went sour. I don't know whether it was the twerp that outbid Epstein or Epstein outbid the twerp. I've heard both versions, but I think it might have been Epstein told the twerp that he was going to do this deal, and the twerp went behind his back and secured it for himself, and Epstein threw him out. I'm just going to put that out there, threw him out of the ranks. I'm getting that there was some sort of agreement that the twerp was, because I keep getting this, the blackmail documents in Ivana's casket. And that's why they've got Hubba in and New Jersey to stop, try and stop the casket from being exhumed. It's just so tangled. And I'm getting that the orange twerp was supposed to keep sending blackmail money, possibly by this, because I've got Epps wasn't the only one with an account there. So my question is, and my guides told me to stop shuffling, is does the orange twerp have an account at Epstein's bank account in the Virgin Islands that was supposed to be sending money? I am way out on this limb. Come on down. The further we dig, the wilder it gets. Right. Does the orange twerp, bruised, battered, back up against the wall, holding on to the Ace of Wands, which is the plan, but there's some sort of, okay, I'm getting that the investigation into the Virgin Islands Bank has prevented this from happening. Okay. Or he's claiming that it's prevented him from using it. Okay. It's all purely smoke and mirrors and greed and delusion, illusion, confusion, poor choices. It is just smoke and mirrors, greed. So he's claiming that he can't. This was the plan, but with these guardrails in place. But the challenge is the greed and delusion. Thank you. I just heard Jeffrey's supposed to be dead, so what can he do about it? It's like, that's what I heard. Jeffrey is supposed to be dead, so what's he gonna do about it? It's not like Epstein can come out of his urn and claim the money or anything. So yeah, the swords of truth trapping Epstein. He can't come out and say, oh, that's my money. That's what I'm getting. In the past, he's been forced to walk away. I'm just going to say, yes, that's what I'm getting. Because we've got the Emperor here. What's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. I'm going to do it my way. I'm making the rules and I'm taking control. I'm going to say yes. Something here has not yet been revealed in the immediate future. Ghislaine, probably Ghislaine. Don't correct me. Ms. Maxwell. She knows. There's Miss Maxwell herself, externally, internally, new journey, stepping off the cliff. The Fool. La la la, stepping off the cliff. She may bring this information forward. There is a money trail, hopes and fears, the inability to move this forward, the Death card, and the burden, the chaotic messaging. Citing the fact, yes, 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 and we've only got the one pentacle, and then we've got my Jack Smith card. I think the hopes and fears is the money trail, and I says, oh gosh, and the devil, chain themselves to the devil, and then the justice card and the harsh truth is going to come out with that Knight of Swords. Look at these major arcana to end up with. The harsh truth is going to come forward about the dark money and the dealings behind the scenes. And we've got the Hermit shining a light, and we've got the complete and utter downfall, and we've got the moral, financial, ethical corruption that went with it. And it is, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I am going to leave it there. Put it out there, what I'm getting. There was more than one bank account in the Epstein's offshore bank. The money that was transferred out of it very quickly after his death was to maintain, or well, to set up the lifestyle. The money is running out. There was an agreement made with a certain other conman businessman who was so embroiled in this to keep sending blackmail money to maintain this lifestyle. And he, in his usual jucipulatus way, that's the word they're giving me, as in, way, hasn't been sending the money. Okay. Right, I'll be on Hogarth's tomorrow on the live. I'm not going to do any other readings tomorrow. I honestly, I so need a break. But I've got one more for today. Okay, catch you shortly. Love to you all. Take care.